This is Capital Games. I am the Wiz. As it's the beginning of a new month, that means it's that time to talk about the new releases for this coming month. And this is, of course, the month of April 2023. I'm looking over some of the key releases. There's a big release this month, but the rest there's some interesting stuff here. Some ports, some remasters, things like that as well. So we have, let me take that back. There are two big releases this month. This should be pretty interesting. So why don't we get started? The first thing I'm going to do is go over ports. Now, when I talk about ports, I am just talking about straight up ports. Not remasters, not collections, just a port. Just something that was on one system and is not being changed and put into another. So here are the ports that are coming out this month. First one is Hogwarts Legacy, April 4th, PS4, Xbox One. I expect that to sell at least another 1 million in copies at that point. Maybe more than that, so we'll see. Ghostwire Tokyo is coming to Xbox Series X and S. I believe that is going on Game Pass as well. I should have checked that out. I'm not entirely sure. I don't expect that to make a lot more sales. The reception to that game was kind of chilly, I think, when it first came out last year. But I know Zero played it. He liked it a little bit. I don't see a lot of sales coming from that port, at least. But, if you need to recoup your costs, I guess that's worth it in that end. April 27th, Live Alive is coming to PC, PS4, and PS5. Funny enough, I actually got this on sale on the Switch, but I would have preferred to have it on Steam. So I'm a little miffed because I thought there was just no way that was coming to anything other than Switch, but I was wrong. So it is coming this month, at the end of the month, on PS5, PS4, and then Windows. I believe it's going to be only on Steam, so there's that as well. And the final port that's coming out is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, coming April 28th. Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, and PS5. The Monster Hunter Rise came out on those systems, I think, a couple months ago. So they're just putting the expansion now, which I find kind of weird. I thought they would probably put the expansion right then and there just to be in line with the rest of the editions of Monster Hunter Rise. But then again, I'm not Capcom, and, I bet they're still making a lot of money on that game, too. Great game. Both me and Zero love that game. But it is kind of strange that they didn't have the expansion when it came out on the systems and decided to wait 2 months. I don't know. I find it strange. Alright, so let's get into the new releases that are coming this month in April. Let's start with Meet Your Maker on all systems except Switch. So that's PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC. I want to also note that this is going to be a PS Plus title. So if you have PlayStation Plus, I think it's the Essential line, you're going to get this game for free. So, if you have a PS5, don't buy it. You're going to get it for free. But anyway, so that's Meet Your Maker coming out. When this was announced and was shown off, I was really interested in this. I still am to a certain point, but I really haven't heard much else about this game to see what the reviews are like. So the reviews should be coming shortly. It should be. I'm surprised I haven't seen any now, to be completely honest with you. So maybe it's going to be a more word of mouth campaign. If it turns out to be good, a lot of people will talk about it, which will get more people to play it, which would be great for that game if it turns out to be a hit. When it comes to the quality as of right now, I haven't heard anything. So that's kind of strange, but especially for a PS Plus title. But yeah, it looks interesting to me. I don't know the price offhand. I think it's $30. I think it's $30. I'm not entirely sure. But then again, if you have it on PS Plus, it's free. So check it out there. Also on April 4th, Grim Grimoire Once More, PS5, PS4, and Switch. I believe it's a remake of the Vanillaware game from PS2. guess they're remaking all the Vanillaware games. I know that Odin Sphere Left for Zero was a remake on the PS4. They recently did a 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, a game that I have still not tried, but I've heard nothing but fantastic things about. I guess the only question I have with that is, are they going to remake Muramasa? I mean, it makes sense, right? Hopefully they do. I love Muramasa. That was such a good game. But anyway, Grimoire Once More. When I played on PS2, wow, would it be like 15 years ago? Probably more than that. Yeah, when I played it back then, it didn't hold my attention very well. But I'm going to probably give it a second chance when it releases on PS5 and check it out, at least. What it is, it's a tower defense game, I believe. And I've played other tower defense games in the past, so it's not like I hate tower defense games. So maybe they remake or redo something in this that'll give it an extra boost of quality. So I am curious about that. I'm probably not going to pick it up right away. But I'm definitely curious about this. That's Grim Grimoire Once More, April 4th, PS5, PS4, and Switch. Coming out of Steam Early Access, Everspace 2, April 6th on PC. From what it looked like, it looks like a space dogfighting sim. I guess something along the lines of, X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter. But apparently there is a deep RPG element to it as well, where you get loot and you upgrade your ship and you do all sorts of things. I know Everscape 1 had a fan base to it. I'm not sure about 2 right away, but it's definitely something I'm curious about. I'm surprised it's only coming on PC. Let me double check with that real quick. Maybe it's coming to maybe it's coming to consoles, and they are not putting it on there because it was going to be on. Okay, I am wrong. It's on early access right now on Steam. It is coming out on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That doesn't seem right. It's not coming on to the other Xbox. Oh, it is coming to Xbox Series X and S. So this is coming to the other consoles. Pardon me. I probably should have looked that up earlier. But I guess it's on early access on Steam. So that's where its big release is going to be. So I guess check for reviews on that. But it looks interesting. It definitely does. The price on it, I believe, on Steam was $50. Yes. It is on sale right now for not on sale, but it is selling right now for $50 on Steam on its early access. I am not sure if this is one of those games where it becomes a full release that they decide to go ahead and raise the price. Apparently it was priced differently when it first started. I think it will stay. At full release, we plan to reasonably raise the price to what we feel is a polished AA space combat and exploration game with at least 30 hours of story content, plus many more hours of fun in the end game when hunting for the best loot in Everspace 2. That sounds like to me that they're going to raise the price to $60. So if you are interested in this, and you know you're going to play something like this, and you have a PC, you might want to go ahead and purchase it right now, because it's probably going to raise to $50 by the time that time goes around. But if you want to try it out, there is a demo, so you can check out the demo of that game if you so choose. So that is Everspace 2 coming out to all systems. It's coming out on the 6th. EA Sports PGA Tour, April 7th, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The last PGA Tour game that EA Sports did was Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. I think that was 3 or 4 years ago, and that did not turn out well. The last time I actually enjoyed a simulation golf game was the Tiger Woods on Nintendo Wii. And the only reason why I enjoyed that game specifically was because it had frisbee golf. I'm not kidding. But it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it. I haven't really got into a simulation golf game since. That maybe just be me. And simulation golf games have gotten better. I know there is a game series called The Club that I think it's what it's called, that got sold to 2K. Now they do PGA Tour 2K, and it was 2K23, had Tiger Woods in the cover this year. I'm not sure what kind of sales this is going to get. I'm going to guess not much, unless there is something exceptional about this specifically. I see more golf games being sold when they're more of the arcadey, fantastical versions. I'm thinking Hot Shots for Everybody's Golf. I'm thinking of Mario Golf. I think they sell a lot better than you would think, than I would say the simulation golf. Because I hate to say this, because when it comes to golf fans, they usually skew older. I know there are some younger fans of golf. I know that, but they usually skew much older, and the much older crowd doesn't really play games. Unless there's something unique about this, I don't see this selling very well, and it might get back into the drawing board. But I'll be curious to see what happens. I wonder what the reviews will be like on that. So that's EA Sports PGA Tour, April 7th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Moving on, Sherlock Holmes: The Awakening, April 11th. Coming to all systems. That's PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and the Switch. The most I know about the Sherlock Holmes games is there is a small cottage niche group of gamers that do enjoy this game. I remember I think it was a Joystick podcast where one of the hosts would constantly reference this game. And the only thing that I know about the Sherlock Holmes games that I know of is that one of them had a bug where what would happen is if you were looking at something and then you would turn around, all of a sudden Watson is staring right directly at you, staring at you right now. It was kind of a feature, I guess, where you can talk to Watson at any point and do a quip or whatever. But it was just done so weirdly that whenever you turn around slightly, boom, there he was. And it was kind of funny to watch. I saw it on a YouTube video once. But that's really the most that I know about the Sherlock Holmes games. But if you're into detective mysteries, I guess it's kind of a visual novel type game to a certain extent. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't be interested in it. So if you're into those types of games, check it out. But there are a ton of Sherlock Holmes games, especially on PC. A few have gone to consoles that I know of too. So they must sell pretty well if they keep making them. So either that or someone has a lot of money to burn on the Sherlock Holmes IP, which is a possibility too. So it's Sherlock Holmes: The Awakening, coming April 11th on all systems. Come to Switch and PC on April 11th. Tron Identity, Switch and PC. This is the visual novel, I think, that was announced during the last Nintendo Direct. I'm not a big Tron fan. I know there is a fan base for Tron, and they've been dying for more Tron games or Tron anything since the last Tron movie that came out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the last big thing Tron had. They might have had a game right after that too, but that might have been based on the movie. I'm not. Don't quote me. I'm not entirely sure. Is there really a crossover between people who like Tron and who like visual novels? I'm not entirely sure. But then again, I mean, if you are dying for a new Tron story, why not at this point? What other choices do you have? But yeah, I would guess that, yeah, if you're looking for something Tron and you have a Switch or PC, you probably are going to pick this up. How it will sell, I don't think it will sell very well. But if it didn't cost a lot of money to make, at this point, does it matter at this point? I would say if $250K if it made in sales, that's pretty damn good. $100K might be pretty damn good. It depends on how much it's selling for and how much it was to make. But I could see if it's like a $20 game, people might put a flyer on it. Why not? Okay, Tron Identity coming out in April 11th. I really don't know much about Tron, so I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Coming April 14th, Mega Man Battle Network Collection, PC, PS4, and Switch. Man, this is the only type of Mega Man games I've never really got into. And I actually liked One Step, I think it's One Step to Eden, I think it's called. That indie game that came out like years ago that used the same battle system that the Battle Network games have. It's always interested in me. It always interested me. I never got into them so much. So to have like all 5 in a collection kind of doesn't interest me either, to be completely honest. I honestly probably would have been more interested if it was a new game that was coming out on like Switch and PC. Then I would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I don't know how to explain it other than that even like in properties that I'm really interested in. Let's say Castlevania, they did the Advanced Collection, where they had all the GBA games on one collection. That barely interested me because I also know that they don't put a lot of attention into developing the game to a certain extent for modern consoles. So the look of the game and the way it runs might not be optimal because it was optimized for portable consoles, but it's you're not playing on a portable console anymore. So you're gonna have generally will be like a border around the entire game, and then you have this little rectangle that you have to look through, unless you want to blow it up, and then it just looks like really chunky, and I kind of don't like that. So I would definitely be interested in it, but I think this goes for $40. Let me double check. I'm gonna check Steam right now. Oh, it goes for $60. Yeah, no thanks. They're selling them as Volume 1 and Volume 2 on Steam, apparently, and it's $60. I've now lost complete interest. But the whole collection is Battle Network 1, 2, 3 Blue, 3 White, 4 Red Sun, 4 Blue Moon. I forgot they did this. 5 Team Proto Man, 5 Team Colonel, 6 Side Beast Gregor, and Side Beast Falzar. I completely forgot they did the. This is probably why I lost interest completely in this, because they went the Pokemon route and decided to, I guess, break them up into 2 separate SKUs at a certain point. Yeah, that does not interest me in the slightest. I'm sorry. And especially for $60, forget it. 40, I would have been like, okay, I could see why people would be interested in that. 60? I don't think so. You might be, and that's cool. I know there are people who are fans of the Battle Network games, but looking at this, I don't think so. I'll wait until it drops to 20, and that's probably going to be in a couple years. That is Mega Man Battle Network Collection, April 14th, PC, PS4, and Switch. Coming April 18th, all systems, Minecraft Legends. That's the strategy RTS, third-person RTS game that Microsoft is doing with Minecraft. They're putting on all systems. It's going on to Game Pass day 1. I am really curious about this game because there's supposed to be a big strategy element to the game as well. But the last I remember, Minecraft Dungeons did okay, but not to a point where I think people were expecting with the Minecraft brand. I mean, Minecraft also did story mode, which I don't think did very well either. I mean, story mode is completely, you can't even buy it anymore. Like, it's out of sale at this point. So that might not be due to the sales from that. That probably is more business related and related to what happened with Telltale Games and how they screwed their business up. When it comes to branching out the Minecraft IP, I'm starting to think, like, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm starting to think that as big as Minecraft is, that the type of gamers that they have are just interested in Minecraft. They're just not interested in doing anything else except Minecraft to that extent. You might have gotten a few who were into like the dungeon games, like Minecraft Dungeons and everything. You might get some that are into Minecraft Legends, but I don't see this being a big seller. I mean, it's going to do well because it's on Game Pass on Xbox, so that is not a shock to me, but I don't see it doing huge sales on other systems. So I I don't know. I'm kind of like, with it. I'm interested. I want to play it, but I'm not entirely thrilled with it. So that is Minecraft Legends, April 18th, coming to all systems. Coming April 18th as well to all systems, The Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story. What character is this based off of? Let me check. Is it Rise? I have no idea who Silas is. Wow, this is... Okay, so basically, this game is based on the character Silas, which between me and you guys, can I tell you a secret? Will you tell nobody? Thank you. I have no idea who Silas is. I think Silas is a character that was created after I got out of League of Legends. League of Legends, if you've never dove into the lore and characters of League of Legends, they're actually pretty good, which is what surprises me a lot with League of Legends. I mostly right now play Legends of Runeterra, that's the card game. I do end up having the itch to want to go back into League of Legends, but then I just go back to Smite. Essentially is what happened, because I just do not want to deal with the toxicity of League of Legends. And I've never heard anybody say, oh, it's gotten better. No, I've never heard that. So, yeah, but this is what Riot Games has been doing with a lot of their properties. They did it with did an RPG a while back. I forgot what the name of that RPG was. But they also did, they've done quite a few games like this. But I can't remember that shows how great they are, since I can't remember the games names. They've ended up selling okay, I think. They sold not pretty well, but good enough, essentially. So, yeah, I mean, that's interesting that they're going to keep going on this. Oh, to note, these are from the people that made Moonlighter. Moonlighter is not a bad game, so maybe it's worth checking out. I don't know. What will be the price be? It's pre-ordered for $30 on Steam right now. So if you're interested, check it out. It's coming April 18th to all systems. $30. Coming off of early access, Puzzle Quest 3, April 18th. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. When I was researching to see what came out this month, I had no idea this was coming. Like, literally, I had no idea. And Puzzle Quest is a game that I really liked. In fact, 2 is really good. I really like 2. But for like the past, I would say 10 years, all they've been doing is free-to-play Puzzle Quest games. They have Marvel Puzzle Quest. They had, I think they had a Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest at a certain point. They even have their own IP that is essentially free-to-play Puzzle Quest called Gems of War that I was playing for a little bit until I realized, like, kind of how scummy it is. So I kind of got off of that. D3 is the publisher of this, and I think they're now part of 505 Games. They've not been resting on their laurels on the Puzzle Quest brand, but I think it's Marvel Puzzle Quest that makes them the most money. So I wouldn't be that surprised if that's the case. So I guess I'm kind of stunned that they have a free-to-play Puzzle Quest like in Gems of War, but they're doing a free-to-play Puzzle Quest 3? What? So I was kind of surprised. I am going to check it out because I am a Puzzle Quest fan. Now, if it's anything like Gems of War, I'm probably going to dip right off of it. Because Gems of War, as fun as it was, and it uses the same Match 3 puzzle brand that Puzzle Quest has used, but they were really scummy with monetization, so I don't know about that. And Marvel Puzzle Quest, in all fairness too, I played that too, is also pretty bad with monetization. So on that note, like, I'm not sure what to feel about this. So I'll check it out, but I'm not entirely thrilled. So Puzzle Quest 3 is coming out of early access April 18th, coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It's also coming to mobile title. It's also going to Android and iOS. I don't know what to think of it. Like, I didn't even know this was coming. Again, like, I was like, when did this happen? Okay. So that's apparently coming up early access in April. April 19th, Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC coming to PS... Apparently this DLC is only PS5? I see the only platform being PS5. So I guess this is not coming to PS4? That's gotta sting. Only the PS5. That's gotta suck. If you have Horizon Forbidden West on PS4, you're probably not happy right now. Or am I mistaken? It did come on a PS4, did it not? Yes, it did. So if you have the PS4 version and you haven't updated yet, you're not getting the DLC. Which, I guess to a technical aspect, I understand that. But then still, you're kind of screwed. So, but I think if you have the PS4 version, you get the PS5 version as an update for free. I think that's the last game they did that with. So, it might not be too bad. So, I guess. But they must be doing some massive upgrades on that DLC for it to be PS5 only. So, I don't know. With that said, I think it will sell pretty well. But from what I've heard from a lot of people, and from social media as well, is that they got Forbidden West, they played it, they stopped when Elden Ring came out, and they never went back. I'm not sure what the sales are going to be like to this. I think it's going to be decent. I think there's going to be good sales, but I don't think it's going to be barnstorming. Oh my god, we're going to look at the DLC. I don't think that's going to happen on this one. I think it'll be good enough though. I'm not expecting it to bomb or anything. I think it'll be fine. April 19th is when it's coming. PS5 only. That's still... I think the biggest release this month is going to be Dead Island 2, which is coming out April 21st on all systems except the Switch. Dead Island 2 was announced back in like 2012? 2013? It's been a long-ass time since this game is first announced. And they've delayed it. They've scrapped it, came back to it. Like, they have done and redone this game to death at this point. And from what the previews sound like is that it is a Dead Island game. If you want a Dead Island game, that's what it is. So if that's what you're interested in, go for it at that point. But you're expecting like a big shakeup. Like, I think when they first announced it, people were expecting this to be an open world game. It's not. It's an instance game. If you're expecting like a big shakeup or innovations to the game, except maybe visually to a certain extent, you're not getting that. But if you like Dead Island, I mean, why not at this point? But I think the people who like Dead Island have found other things to play. I would say... Yeah, like, I think Dying Light has pretty much taken that over, right? I guess the sales will be all right. I just don't think it's going to be a 1 million, 2 million sales thing in, like, the first month. I think it will do decent, but that's about it. So, yeah, it's Dead Island 2. Unless there's a big advertising blitz that happens that gets people interested in, I'm not seeing this as a big hit. I think it will do all right, but I don't think it will be something that is going to surprise people and go, oh my god, it got like 2 million sales. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, April 21st, coming to the Switch. I know some of you are like, I thought you're not doing ports, Wiz. Well, they're remastering this. It's got a visual upgrade on both games. So, haha, I was right. Don't judge me. But, yeah... I gotta be honest, like, I was a fan of Advance Wars 1 and 2 when it came into the GBA, but since then, like, I like them more complex. Like, I really like Fire Emblem. I like games like that are much more complex than this. So, I'm not really interested in getting this. Again, I was a fan on GBA, but the genre has grown since then. And I was thinking if they were going to remaster these, they were going to add more to it, give it more depth, not just put those first two out there in a Switch cart. Which I know some people are fans of the game, and that's fine. At this point, again, like I said, the genre itself has moved up at this point. I don't know how that's... I think it will get good sales just based off nostalgia, but other than that, I mean, if they're doing this to hopefully do it in Advance Wars 4, because I think 3 came out on the DS, then okay, fine. We'll see how it does, but I'm not picking it up. I'm not that interested, even though I'm a fan. But yeah, that's Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp coming April 21st to Switch. April 25th, Trinity Trigger, PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. I chose this because it looked interesting, especially for the RPG fans. This looks like a update. It's like a throwback to the Secret of Mana days of games. It's a 1 to 3 cooperative action RPG, and when you watch the trailer, you're gonna get Secret of Mana vibes. It looks interesting. I am gonna guess it's a $50 game, and for that price, I'm not gonna pay $50 for that. That's kind of crazy. But there are people who are interested in these types of games, and that might be worth it to them. Which, okay, cool. Go right ahead, knock yourself out. That's April 25th coming out on PS5, PS4, Xbox. No, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It looks good. I'm not gonna say it's not looking good. It does look good. It looks interesting, but it better be priced accordingly. That's how I would put it. Apparently, this is coming April 26th. I think it's confirmed. We'll see, because it is a free-to-play title, and the release dates get kind of squirrely. Honkai Starrail, PS4, PS5, PC, and mobile. The Hoyo games, the Mihoyo games. I think the most popular one's Genshin Impact, of course. But I got into Honkai Impact's third, which is a character action game to a certain extent, and I thought that was pretty fun until it kind of got cost prohibitive, and I stopped. This is in the style of a turn-based JRPG. I'm still kind of interested in it, but again, Honkai game, the Honkai games from Mihoyo. I mean, it looks like they're gonna do the same monetization-wise, so it'll be a game that, yeah, I'm interested in, and I will try it, but we'll see exactly how much you have to spend for it to get good. So we'll see on that one. That's Honkai Star Rail, April 26th, PS4, PS5, PC, and mobile. I suspect that's going to be a big deal. I think that's going to get a lot of sales. Coming April 27th on PC and Xbox Series X and S, The Last Case of Benedict Fox, April 27th. Yeah, this will likely be on Game Pass. This was announced during, I believe, the E3 from Xbox last year. And apparently it's a Metroidvania and a roguelike? Really? Okay. That's got me a little bit interested. It's kind of got a Lovecraftian vibe to it. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so I might check it out. It definitely looks interesting. But I don't know. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so if the word of mouth becomes very good, then I could see it might do a little bit of sales. But in regards to anything else, we'll see on that point. Here's the other big game that's coming out, and I think this might be the biggest game that came out this month. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, April 28th, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. It's a Star Wars game, and it's also a sequel to a Star Wars game that was very popular a couple of years ago. And the developer is a trusted developer. People are excited about this game. This is an easy sell. This will sell very well. I'll get my prediction on around the time it comes out, so expect that when that comes. But yeah, this will be a big seller this month. Even though it's coming out at the tail end of the month, like on April 28th, like this will be a huge seller. So I think this will be the biggest seller of the month, ostensibly as well. So that's Star Wars Jedi Survivor, April 28th. This game says it's coming out April, but the date is still not pinned down. I'm going to say this is coming out in April, but I don't have an exact date. It's still on the page right now on Epic Game Store as well as coming out in April. So, coming in April, a Star Trek Resurgence. All systems except Switch. This looks like a Telltale-style Star Trek game, apparently. I'm not a fan of Star Trek, so this is definitely not for me, but I know that there is a big fan base for Star Trek, so they probably are interested in this. And if it turns out halfway decent and it makes Star Trek fans happy, I can see this sell pretty good. But that's the key. You have to make those Star Trek fans happy. And from what I've heard from the previous series that they've had, when it comes to Star Trek, Star Trek fans are none too happy right now. Hopefully they go for, I guess this is set, I think I read it's set before Star Trek The Next Generation, is from where I've read it on. So that's interesting, I guess. I don't know what that means. Seriously, I just don't know. Is that the Picard one? Is that Picard? I don't know. Okay, so that is coming in April? Maybe? I guess we'll have a release date pinned down at some point for that, hopefully. So yeah, that's coming sometime in April. Okay, so that's the new releases, the big releases, I would say, coming out this month. What do I think will be the successful ones in this one? Well, to me, it's obvious it's going to probably be Hogwarts Legacy is probably going to get another 1 million or 2 when it comes out into the other systems. I think this is also going to be... I think Dead Island 2 will not do that bad, but Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I think, is the big release. That's going to do a lot of money, I think, at least. Like, that's going to do so much money. So much. That might be a very good release that's coming, so do not be surprised if we come to find that is the big that is the big seller of the month, and that is coming out like I said, the very end of the month. So do not be surprised if it turns out that is the big one. Well, what do you guys think? What do you think of the games that are coming out? What are you excited for? What do you think will sell very well? Sound off on the comments or on Twitter, on the socials, and let me know what you think. And I might respond to you on the Weekly Dividend. I don't know. I probably will. I'm kind of gracious like that. I have no problem giving you guys credit. I'm a sharer. I'm a lover. I'm somebody. I care about what you think. Anyway, that is it for Capital Games for today. I am the Wiz. Talk to you next time. Bye.